All right. Good morning. I'm doing the studio set today. Y'all don't get to see the back end so much, so I'm using the format where we use the actual studio set web link through Restream, and I'm doing that this morning. Uh, I've still got some experimenting to do with it to set up some of the other cool stuff that we have available. But one of the things that's available through here is I can send an easy link that a guest can use to come on. So, like when Cameron and I have done the show in the past. Good morning, by the way, everybody. It's Monday morning, and I promise y'all we're going to try to keep it mellow on Mondays. So, um, yeah. So this morning, I'm playing with the studio thing, and I want y'all to join me in a little bit of an experiment. And that is, I'm going to drop this link right there in the chat and click on it. It'll bring you in, and then I can add you guys one at a time or two at a time, however many join in. We can chit chat for a moment, and we can start doing this as a bit of a call-in show. And I'd like to see how that works out. So this morning, I'm really just I want to see that the technology works correctly for me. Uh, and so, fair warning: when you click the link, you should just be brought into the studio, but not visible to the audience yet. And then I'll have to bring you in and put you back out, which is relatively easy with a one button click here. Uh, Now, let me talk a little bit about Friday. So there was no show Friday morning, and that was a, not yesterday, but last Sunday. I did a little experiment running through the studio setup like this from my phone, and it worked out swimmingly. And the biggest thing that I was testing at that point was not so much whether or not I could do this through the phone. I was 99% certain that would be the case. Of course, It worked just as advertised. My real interest at that point was whether or not I'd be able to use one of these lavalier sets like the DJI mics here. I've got a couple of different nifty little lavalier kits like that. These are probably the best and most expensive that I have because the little mic keeps a backup recording. So even if you lose connection, you still have a backup, which is important on the production side. But the test was a swimming success. My real concern was with that. I didn't so much doubt that the mics would work. Um, I didn't know at that point whether or not they would be just straight plug and play. Like, could I start the show and then plug them in if for whatever reason I had to do it that way, or did I have to drill down into options and do and manipulate the settings in the program to make them work? Turns out they're totally plug and play, just like I expected them to be. Chef's kiss. So that would those worked out fantastically. I see His Majesty Sergeant Major Lowry has joined us. Now, I'm going to bring you in, old man. Do me a favor and never mind. I was about to say turn it the other way. It, oh, the algorithm seems to have figured you out. Now, can you do me a favor and mute the television? Oh,
It's
so
done.
perfect.
I just need longer arms.
Yeah, longer arms. Do I need to send you a selfie stick?
No, I'll be okay. I kind of got that cart look going on because of being a nose breather before coffee.
where's uh where's the duck?
Two are in the pond and one is in the screened-in porch. We put him the new one is under a heat lamp. We can go see
Wait,
the duck
Sonny
if
is
you
under a
want
heat
to.
lamp?
Yeah, it
Okay.
was cold last night, so we brought him in to give him a
Ah,
break. Oh, look, there's a bottle of scotch laying on my counter. How the hell did that happen? It was St. Patrick's Day. Yeah,
you guys are getting a rare view of the infamous farm.
there's the duck. Morning, Sonny. You
Good
dirty
morning,
rascal.
Sonny. Hey, old man, since you're already out on the porch, why don't you
Yeah.
step outside and flip the camera around and show us Oh, there's the view
There's,
right there.
yeah. Oh, and look, I've started on our outdoor kitchen, so we are going to have a barbecue grill right there,
Hell yes.
close
Yeah,
to the refrigerator and the pool.
so guys, everything you see behind the old man there, that's just his backyard.
Small wonder retired guys are rotten because it's cool. Oh, and let's try something else. Let me get your TV picture on the screen and see if that makes you look like George Stephanopoulos. No, not quite.
Nope,
Ma's,
nope. I think
Ma's in bed watching, so I'm going to leave her alone.
okay. Good morning, Ma. Love you. So that seems to have worked out swimmingly. The technology's working for us, and it was great to see the farm and chit chat about that a little bit. Uh, and guys, that link is still there. Here, I'll drop it again.
It works.
And yeah, we're just having a little chit chat this morning. So what happened Friday? There was going to be a show, and I had the technology all figured out. The DJI mics work and everything. And my plan was, because I had a gig to go to and I needed to be there early, I went ahead and drove out there way too early, hoping that I could get on site and then just do the show remote Friday morning. But there were some problems with directions. The event was it was at a park. It was at the Lake Lanier Islands Park, but the address link that I got from my contact sent me to a locked gate on the opposite side of the park. And yeah, by the way, it's about a 30-minute drive from one side of the park to the other when you have to go around it on those windy ass roads that are all uh, Army Corps of Engineers controlled. That was fun. And I ended up getting to the event at about 8 o'clock for an event that really started at 10:30 or 10 o'clock. Um, Great event, mostly. So I got to hang out with a great bunch of guys. The MFC Motorcycle Club, military, fire rescue, and cops. Um, and their national organization has, excuse me, I learned on Friday because I was there to do interviews for the documentary. And hey, Dad, I'm going to go ahead and let you go unless you've got something to comment here. I hate for your arm to get tired holding up that phone. Can you hear me? Okay, I think you have switched your audio connection over. So I love you, and I'll talk to you later, old man. Um. So anyway, uh, Dad, if you can hear me and you want to say something else, just make a comment, and I can always just pop you back in if you've got your sound back. Uh, Uncle Steve says he hit the link. He sees him and not me. Try the link again, Uncle Steve, and we'll see if we can get you in there. So anyway, I get there. Great bunch of guys. Their national organization has about 150 members with small charters, all up and down the East Coast. I think Connecticut is their furthest north point. And I interviewed the founder of the organization, and the the presidents of several of the chapters, and ask them about how the organization works, what they do. And what part of what they do is charitable work. So while they are not themselves a charity organization, one of the bylaws rules of the motorcycle club is that each individual chapter has to have their own pet charity. And the East Atlanta chapter, or I think they actually call themselves Atlanta East, but the Atlanta East chapter, headed by a guy called Nev, their pet charity is Operation Rally Point, with whom I'm doing the documentary series. So, but each one has their own pet charity. There's one out of Florida, their pet charity. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but I got a lot of footage of the presidents of that chapter talking about their group. And it's this guy that bought an old retired fire engine. Excuse me. Bought an old retired fire engine. He's a retired fireman himself. And he basically took all the guts out of the big back compartment part of it and converted it into a long haul hearse. And if I understand correctly, it's a long haul refrigerated hearse. And the point to it is that we have, soldiers, cops, firefighters, first responders on occasion that end up, you know, far away from home, but still within the contiguous United States. And their organizations just do not do enough to recover the body when someone in that category falls far from home. And they'll end up, oftentimes they'll notify the family and just mail them a box of ashes, or tell them we can't transport them, so you'll just have to have the funeral here on the other side of the country, or what have you, like that. And this guy's organization, he converted that fire truck for exactly that purpose, and he'll go pick up your fallen hero and bring them home. And yeah, that's rock solid. That's a good cause. There's another one of them that just owns a food kitchen, and it or I think food pantry is the better word, but it basically a giant co-op for cheap groceries. Uh, hey, Uncle Steve's been Uncle Steve's been crying about not being able to get in the link, but I've got old One-Eyed here to rock and roll. How you doing, brother?
Oh, doing all right. I just figured I'd do a function test on the link. It's all right.
You must have rolled out of bed recent. I see you got a cowlick sticking out of the out of the side of your beard there.
Yeah, getting my nose broke this morning, so
Say that again. You broke up.
I got to go talk to a doctor about getting my nose broke.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, deviated septum. If I don't get my sleep apnea fixed, I don't get my CDL. So, yeehaw.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah,
I did.
but the links
Wow.
work. Not sure what's going on with Steve. So,
Yeah, me neither. Hey, Uncle Steve, leave a comment down below. Are you clicking the link on a computer or a phone? What browser are you using? What OS are you using? Are you on a Mac or a PC? iPhone? Steve, you're calling from an iPhone, right?
yeah.
So okay, so that, and I know that Sergeant Major was also calling from an iPhone. So at least we know the link works on an iPhone. Maybe it's an Android thing. Who knows? Well, Steve, here's something that I'd like everybody to do for me, and I'm going to take a quick peek over at Rumble. There's a few people watching on Rumble, but I don't see any comments over there. Now, we do tend to get a good number of people watching on Rumble in the mornings, and that's awesome. Rumble is not yet okay. Uncle Steve says he's on an iPad using Safari. That should work for you. That should work just fine. I don't know what to tell you. Keep trying, and if I see you pop up, I'll pull you in. But I want to talk about Rumble and X for a minute. Rumble and X both only recently connected with Restream, like in middle to end of last year, and we've been Rumble got in before X, and between the two of them, X does a much better job of keeping up with the curated comments, and Rumble does no job of it. So basically, there's a lot to be said for Rumble. Rumble's a great platform. Restream and Rumble both need to get this shit worked out between them. I don't see why there's a problem. I don't see why they're having a hard time getting this sorted out. So I'm going to pull up Rumble on Twitter, and I just hit the button over here to share the screen. I'm not sharing the screen right now. That's I'm not using the OBS platform right now, so my hotkeys don't work that way. Okay, so here's Rumble. Here's the Rumble Twitter feed. I'm already following them. Notifications. So I'm going to do this, and I want you guys, any of you that are on Twitter right now, I'm going to hit at Rumble, at Elon, and at Twitter. We'll go to X Creators, at X, and ask, what's the deal? Oh, Rumble. Yeah, I want Elon to look at it, and we got to hit Restream. Restream.io. What's up with the chat integration? Rumble and Restream. No chat. At X and Elon got this shit. Straight almost immediately. What's the holdup? Because damn it, it sure would simplify things on post-production. Oh, apparently it is one word. Sure would simplify things in post-production if I could just see you guys in chat. Steve said he had to drop off and finish making toast. That's perfectly reasonable. I get it. No problem. So that's what I want to see there. And guys, I think that's about all I've got for you. Like I said, just mellow morning this morning. Wanted to test that tech. Seems to be working fine. Let's do something. Let's do something stupid real quick. Let's see what happens if I click. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Yo, who that? Oh, I got PT. I got Pit Danny here.
Hey, man.
Good morning, sunshine. How you doing? Hey, how was movie night Wednesday? I couldn't make it.
It was excellent. It was excellent. We woke a lot of people up. It was really good.
Pit Danny is one of my favorite longtime viewers because he has a particular philosophy about buying a man a cup of coffee. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that, Danny? And then there's the link for you guys if you want to throw a couple of bucks at keeping the show caffeinated.
We played the movie. We played the movie Let My People Go, which is free now on the internet. You can find it. But it's about a 2-hour movie by Dave Clemens. And it explains what happened during the election real good. And we had a few people there that it was totally new to, and we woke them up, and we got quite a delay here.
Oh, yeah? Well,
anyhow,
okay.
Movie night was a success. We're going to do it again. Maybe the same movie again, maybe others.
Gotcha. Okay. So, as far as the delay goes, don't try to listen to the broadcast.
Right.
Try to listen. Yeah. So mute the
I
broadcast
got
and just
you.
pay
Yeah,
attention.
like calling in radio. But
Exactly. Yeah,
yeah,
when you
I
call
go
in
to
on the radio,
MacBook Air.
you gotta turn Rush off.
I don't do too much with my phone as far as watching shows like this.
So out of curiosity, you're
Anyhow,
also calling my phone?
yeah, we're starting to get a lot of people. I don't know if any of your listeners are in Georgia, but we got a bit of a problem with the 13th district, which you are now in the 13th district, me and you. And we have two candidates that are going to run in a primary. Josie Cruz and Jonathan Chavez are going to both run against each other in the 13th congressional district.
What happened to the 4th?
Yeah, the 4th is now all a DeKalb. They completely moved it. Rockdale's no longer in the 4th district. It's DeKalb and part of Gwinnett. But the 13th.
Okay, so you're breaking news. I had no idea. When did this happen?
Went back a couple of weeks ago. The judge redistricted. About 2 weeks ago. I'm sorry. Yeah.
So does that mean Hank is no longer our rep?
That's right. Our rep is David Scott. David Scott's the representative here. And from what I understand, he's very beatable. There are going to be 6 Democrats running against David Scott in the primary, the Democratic primary. And we have 2, both good candidates, both friends. And I can't get involved. I just got to watch what happens. And hopefully one of them can maybe take over, take that spot. But it's going to be hard. But there's a possibility where, like before, there was no possibility.
I won't be getting involved in that either. One, I'm trying to move out of the area, and 2, I made that mistake before with another candidate. And it was heartbreaking because the candidate, I won't mention the candidate that I did the work for because she screwed me so bad. But Janice Van Ness actually came to me at the same time and asked me if I'd work with her, and I would have much preferred to work with Janice. I like Janice, but the other candidate had approached me sooner, and of course Janice went on to win that race. And the candidate that I did the work for, which was some pretty high level security and intelligence work for a campaign, I still haven't gotten paid. That's been what, 10 years ago that Janice was.
That's the last time she won. Now she's been. Denise Van Ness is running for commissioner. You know that, right?
Yeah.
She is a Democrat. She's running as a Democrat in the Democratic primary. She changed parties. There's 5 candidates there.
Well, in fairness, that's the only way she has a prayer of winning in Congress.
It's going to go down to a runoff between Janice and Oz.
Yeah, and her running as a Democrat, that's that's the only way she has a prayer of winning.
Yeah, it's the only move. It's the smart move.
That's unfortunate, but is on the list of reasons I'm shopping for a house the fuck outside this county.
Oh, I understand. I totally understand. This county is really got problems.
Under the rules in Rockdale County, because Congress has a pretty hand in glove relationship with the film industry in the state of Georgia. If you want to film anything that can be construed as a creative project, right? It's real hard for the law to say you can't just turn your camera phone on and take video of something happening. But let's say you want to shoot a comedic short like me and the boys have done in the yard here on occasion. Many of you guys have seen the SpaghettiOs short film or the coffee short film. Under the rules with the Rockdale County Film Group, Like you're supposed to put in for a permit for that and pay like a $50 fee to put in for a permit. I'm like, no, you definitely don't get to tell me. You don't get to license my free speech on my private property. That is an absolute not an option. Hey, Sean Kimball joins us this morning. I haven't talked to you in a hot minute, brother. How you been? I just saw him pop up in the chat. He's not in the call-in link there. But Conyers is a dead end. I'm on my way out as soon as I can get there. There's also a reason that my children are not in the school here and we homeschool. It is what it is. Sean says he's loving Alabama. Good for you, brother. All right, well, Danny, I'm gonna switch you back off, and I'm gonna go ahead and close this one out.
Okay.
I gotta get down the street and shoot some houses. thanks for popping in, brother.
Oh, sure, man. My pleasure.
So before I wrap this one up this morning, guys, tell me what you thought about doing the call-in show this morning. And remember, before you're too harsh on the kind of shotgun blast style of the content this morning, remember the point was not so much to deliver a particular message, tell a particular story, cover a particular article or analytics set, but to play with the technology and see how the setup is going to work for you guys so that y'all can call in and do the video call that way, which I think is much more accessible and simpler than running the full-on call-in line. Like I've got the gear here to do that, but for a lot of you guys, I know you're watching on your phone, or even if you're not watching on your smartphone, you're just watching it on the television. You've probably got the smartphone right there at hand, and especially if y'all have something like Apple AirPods or whatever kind of Bluetooth headset for making phone calls. Those tend to have pretty decent quality microphones. They're not going to be the glistening, golden, glorious honey of my voice over my MXL microphone here, but like this morning, I'm using the headset microphone this morning, because I didn't want to get too many of the additional complicated pieces involved. I mean, you guys know once if you're in the studio at all there's a lot of shit going on this desk. There's a lot of buttons involved in running this show and a lot of equipment and technology. So, I wanted to just keep it simple, stupid, and make this one work like it's supposed to. So Sergeant Major said he liked the format. And before I click out, Uncle Steve, I want you to try clicking the link one more. I'm going to drop the link fresh. I want you to try clicking it one more time and see if it works for you, because I think the first two times you clicked it, there was somebody else already called in, and I did see you pop up for a minute there. So, go ahead and click it and see if it'll work for you. And I'll sit here and drink coffee. Okay, waiting on Uncle Steve. His last comment was 5 minutes ago, so I don't know if he's even still watching. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and put a pin in it there then. And Uncle Steve, you and I can talk later and see if we can get it to work a little later on. So, yeah, I will see you guys. Thanks for watching this morning. We love you, and we will see you tomorrow. Oh, hey, wait a minute. Sean Kimball says it took me to a sponsor page. Yes. I see what happened. I had copied the link, this link. There we go. This is the correct link to join the show. So, okay, before I end the chat, Uncle Steve may be over there buying me a cup of coffee instead of joining the show to chit chat. So yeah, Sean, that's I see what happened. Yeah. I dropped the studio link earlier, and then when Pitt Danny was on, we were talking about the sponsor link to buy me a coffee, which has been a boon for the show. It is keeping us in Lager and Legos over here. So I'll wait just another minute for see if Uncle Steve clicks that link, and then let's see. No new activity. All right, guys. I see viewers are starting to drop off, and I understand entirely. I'm going to go ahead and say that the overall experiment was a resounding success, and we'll play with this one again in the future. So, once again, thanks for watching. We love you, and we'll see you tomorrow.